Hello, everybody, and welcome back. We're at episode 12 of Misfortune. Now, where we left off, Rick Lower was on his way to the town of Bellhop, and we just dealt with a scene with a very heavily injured merchant, as usual. Seems to be an ongoing theme with our adventure. We were able to get him back to town with the help of a chef that was actually looking for him via horseback. So they've already went back to town themselves. And while we were walking to town, Tracer reappeared and was perched on a monument, so a gravestone. And we were not aware, we did not see the bird. But now Tracer can see us, which leads me to believe that the magician once again has his eyes on us after a possibly half a day or a day of no feedback because of that storm and our little scuffle in the farm. So the questions I left myself with was, does or how Tracer updates Magician on positions? The merchant cook, did he go to the doctor? Is he okay? Is there an award for us? The Quake origin. Regular is walking to Bellhop. Sparky's with us. We still have our dog companion. And the big change for another challenge for myself is I'm going to be using the World of Dungeons one-page RPG because I was not too happy with my own system. So once again, I shelved it. I'm going to work on it later on. But I've been thinking about using this one for some time now for Misfortune. So we've already gone through. I've already gone through the character creation process. It's a one-page for free game uh, on itch, and you can download the character sheet. It comes with the character sheet and the rules, which is flippable. It has a backside for all the levels and name suggestions. And then the rules itself are literally just one page. You basically roll 2d6 for everything: combat, skill checks, and you roll 6 or less for a miss. 7 to 9 is a partial success. 10 or more is a full success. If you're skilled at it, which this game does have skills and abilities, you basically have to change the 6 or less to a partial success, and anything higher is good. So, with that being said, I'm going to get my Oracle, which I forgot to grab, but we need to find out uh, what we can do in town. So currently, we are the town of Bellhop, and we're now going to figure out if we should take a rest to recover. Sorry about that. Had a call from work. So got the rules here. Got my character sheet ready to go. Okay. We arrived to the town. Got my characters just in case we need to add or update anything. We arrived to the town of Bellhop, and it's a small town. It's not too big. It's definitely not the smaller size of a village that our character is from. So, while our character is from Terran. So, let's see what we can do in town. Um, is there an inn available? So let's roll. Let's see. Let's roll for. I'm changing my oracle around a bit based on some prior comments. I'm not rolling a. Actually, I'm sorry. I apologize. I'm mistaken. I'm not changing the oracle, but I'm going to be changing how I do the totals. I'm no longer going to do a sum for advantage. I'm only going to do what's the highest roll. But I do include an advantage based on likelihood, but I'm not going to cheat and try to, make the 3 blues in an attempt to push the story. I'm going to strictly just use up to 2 for for this. But the likelihood of there being an inn in a town is, I'd say, very likely. So, is there a inn around the area? There is. So 5 to 4. So regular finds an inn. He needs to rest. He is tired. Our HP is at 6 based on the new rules. As far as weapons, I have to adapt this character to this new system. We have light armor +1. So I'm gonna fill that in right there. Dagger, D6. We're at thieves class. Strength. These are all modifiers, they're not totals. I have 1 dexterity, 3 con, and 2 charisma. Stealth and survival are my skill sets, and then special abilities backstab and lucky. Backstab is sneak attack +3. Luck is once per day, turn a miss into a partial. And we have torches, 20-foot rope, travel bag, lockpicks, potion D4. I carried a lot of this from the prior adventure. Um, Map, box, scroll, key, and a note to the merchant. So most of the same inventory items with some new additions. So he finds an inn. Now he's at the front door. Um, time of day is it right now? Let's see what time of day, because that what is the question for. Let's see if we roll for that time of day. Uh, I think for everything we've been doing, it's most likely pretty late. I haven't been tracking the daytime for a while now. I don't see anything that generates time of day, but um, it has been. Is it late? Is it sunset? It's not. I'd say it's probably 3 or 4 mid-afternoon, so the inn is probably most likely open. So he walks, let's say, is the inn open right now? Most likely it is. It's not. The door's locked for some odd reason. We have to go with that. So the door's locked, and he's a little confused by that. So because it's locked, he's going to just kind of continue. There's really no other place to go to rest. Perhaps he can find the chef. So now he's thinking about the chef and the merchant that he ran into earlier, not too long ago, probably a half an hour or 45 minutes ago, depending how fast he walked. And the tracer is the tracer following us. I'm going to say most likely the tracer is. Yep, the tracer is following us. High five right there. And it's just flying around on top. It's flying around up in the sky. Tracer is flying. It's flying, tracking us. It's just way up there, thousands of feet up in the air. So now, Bregler is looking around. He's thinking, where would a chef be? And of course, he thinks of a what do you call it? A kitchen room, like just a bakery, perhaps. So he looks for a bakery. Does he find one? He does. He barely finds a bakery. Perhaps he asked for help, and a local villager pointed out the bakery is around the corner. So he is now at the bakery. And is the bakery open? Let's do it. I think actually this might be a 50-50 because the cook, the chef, I'm sorry, the chef, the executive chef, Ramsey, basically took Mr. Merchant to the doctor. So I'd say probably not. Well, let's roll for it. Yep, he's not at the bakery. He looks inside. The door's also closed. Door's locked. There's nobody inside. Remember, it's mid-afternoon. Um, yeah, it's nobody inside. Nobody. And by the way, I'm also going to try to shorten my descriptions because I have a tendency to really drag on, really journal out this thing. That's not the purpose. I don't want to journal too much. And I do apologize if I have a tendency to do that. But he's now recalling, oh, maybe there's a doctor somewhere around here. So he's looking for a doctor's office. In modern day, we call it a doctor's office, but in past back then, I'm sure it's going to be a cabin or a what do they call it? It's just a smaller house. Forgot what the term is, but he's going to be looking. He's asking around to see is there anybody around that he can talk to. We'll see. There isn't. The area is pretty dead. He's looking for the prior person he spoke to, and does he see the same person? We didn't really touch on that detail, but does he find the prior person he talked to? We kind of skipped over that. He doesn't. So there's really nobody around the area. Uh, Nobody around. It's very quiet for some reason. plot hole from earlier I forgot to mention. Let's get some details on the person we talked to. Who did we run into earlier? Let's get my D100. Let's see, where is it? Here it is. Person. Who did he talk to earlier? 76. That's going to be. Oh, it's Sage. Interesting. He spoke to a traveling sage. If I'm not mistaken, that's a magician, I believe. So, a traveling sage. Let's just say a traveler. He'd perhaps dress like a sage, but I don't think we. I don't think Bregler paid much attention to who he was. Just a traveler. He asked him, "Do you know if there's a bakery around here?" And perhaps a traveler's been through these parts before. So, it doesn't seem like Bregler has been through here much. But he doesn't travel too much. Doesn't travel up north that much at all. So he's looking around, can't find anybody. He's just going to try to look himself. So he's looking for a possibly a cabin or a small building with a from a light source coming from the inside. It is still daytime, so it's hard to tell who's home and who's not. He's looking around. He's walking through the town. He's looking for signs that say doctors or health or medical, anything in that manner. And let's see if he doesn't find anything. Did he notice? I'm gonna say he eventually does find something. Yep, he did. He finds most likely found the doctor's office. A healer's. He finds a healer. So found. Let's call it the healer's nest. Just the name of the place. The healer's nest. And um, he walks up to the door and he's going to open it. Perhaps there's. Does he hear anything coming from the inside? Is anybody there? He doesn't hear anything. So he doesn't hear anything coming from the inside. He's gonna try to open the door. Does it open? It doesn't. A lot of. I'm gonna re-roll that one because this is. There we go. Well, it's still not equal. So it's really interesting. It doesn't want me to open the door for some reason. And the door does not open for some reason. It's stuck. He tries to open the door, but the door is jammed. I'm basing on this roll here. Okay. So the door's jammed. He's really trying to force it open because he thinks it's the last place they would be. Maybe they're in the tavern actually. He thinks of the tavern. He thinks of a tavern. So thinks tavern. So he's gonna go to the tavern. Maybe the whole village maybe most of the town is there. So he's looking around where Returnally is, and does he see a tavern from where he is? A lot of sixes from the D6 today. I really feel like switching oracles at this point. I'm gonna go to the other oracle. I'm not happy with this one at all. All right, we're gonna be using the percentage oracle that I've used before. Okay, so continuing the story. I'm sorry if I'm changing the oracle up here. Might piss off a few people, but again, I'm just gonna roll with it. So, pun intended. Okay, the chances that he sees another tavern in a small town, as most towns have taverns back in, and I say in the fantasy realm, the chances are, I would say, easily 85%. So does he find a tavern? 85%. You gotta be kidding me. He finds a tavern. For some reason, it was not marked. He found a tavern. He found the tavern, though there's no signage. You know what? I think that Sage could be a interesting plot development. I'm gonna put Sage. Okay, just gonna keep that in mind. A little star next to that one. All right, he's gonna walk up to the tavern door. Does what does he hear? Let's see. We have let's use the oracle for I'm gonna see it for the senses. So I'm gonna do D10. Oh, I still need my 2d6 for the game rules itself. So I need a d10, which I have right here. I completely missed it. What does he hear? He hears, um, Wind. Okay. He hears wind coming from the door. So for some reason the door is the door's open, but wind's blowing through. Door is ajar. Wind's coming out. Is the wind like very blustery? Um, let's see. How bad is the wind? 50%. It's pretty noticeable. Four. Wow, it's just a gust of wind coming out of the for some reason coming out of the tavern, which does not make any sense at all. I'm really intrigued by that. He hears wind. Is it coming from inside the tavern? That's what we didn't roll for. I'm gonna say 10% chance coming from inside. Doesn't make sense. It's not coming. It's just the wind from the outside. So that means there's another storm coming, perhaps. 80% chance there's another storm coming. Yep, there's another storm coming. Storm incoming. That explains the heavy wind. I'm gonna correct my writing there. So wind coming, storm incoming. The door is ajar though, so he opens the door, goes inside, and let's see, how is the livelihood of the tavern? Let's figure that out. So a couple potential options here. It is going to be let's see, tension. Is the place busy? Let's roll. I'm going to say, well, because the town has been pretty quiet, there's not a lot of people walking around Bellhop. Um, I'm going to say that 80% chance that everybody is in here. The place is just bustling. Yep, this place is busy. Okay, tavern's busy. And so Bergler walks in and he's looking around for the cook, or I'm sorry, the chef or the merchant that's hurt. Does he see any of the two gentlemen from earlier? Let's roll. I'm gonna say 15% chance. I think they're in the back. 15% chance. They're not. So he doesn't find them. Doesn't see the chef or merchant. Perhaps they're being treated in the back. Maybe the tavern is like an end all be all for this place. Like everyone loves hanging around this tavern, no matter what the problem is. So he's looking, and he's gonna walk up to the bar and ask the bartender if what was the chef's name? Did we ever? I don't think we got a name for the chef from prior. We didn't really catch the name of the chef from last. So let's go back a few pages, or a page, I should say. Cook. So it's a cook, not a chef. My mistake. Cook checks. So we've been going with cook mostly. Um, we'll use that confusion to my advantage here for the story. The regular asks he's looking for the cook. Describes his appearance, his visual appearance. Looking for cook. Asks the bartender. Now the bartender, most likely a social person, how does he respond to the inquiry? Let's see. Ah, he's very benevolent. Okay, he's a very personal, very socially active person. Basically, not me. So, he bartender's like, oh yeah, the cook, he's in the back. So, bartender mentions cook in the back. I could just say, see, I'm trying to learn how to just shorten these up a little bit. The cook is in the back room. Okay, so regular is like pointing, like, okay, so I can go. And then bartender is like, yeah, yeah, go for it. The bartender's a little busy. He's just cleaning up some glasses as usual, the towel rag. So we go towards the back room. In the back room, I should put stars on where we are. Tavern. This is mostly all in the town outside. So in back room. Okay. We open the door. It's open. He would have not let us go if it was locked. We're not gonna lock pick in the tavern. That'd be silly. Um, and does he see uh, the cook or well, first let's say, does he see the cook? I see 90% chance because he works there. He does. So Yep, he sees the cook. The cook is working, and he's on the line. He's just putting together some food. And um, do we see? We're looking around. Does the cook notice us, or is he too busy? I'm gonna say 40% chance. The cook's pretty busy, perhaps. 40%. Oh my God! I just rolled a 40. Cook barely notices us. If I remember correctly, he's very flamboyant. Notices us. He's like, "Ah, Monsieur, you have come. Yes, please, please, sit, sit." So he's very welcoming of us, but he's like, "I'm very busy. I have to keep cooking. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Keep cooking, but please sit, sit." And I'm going to, Bregler is going to ask, he lets us, we sit down just for a second. It's been a while since Bregler has sat down. Okay, so he's cooking. He's probably just finishing up a meal, or he's vaguely cooking. Okay, cook is busy. And we're mainly just wondering if the guy's okay. So we're gonna ask the cook, is what happened to the merchant? Is he okay? Did he see a doctor? Did you take him to the doctor? And okay, let's say I have an idea for this one. Let's do 65% chance he took him to the doctor. He did not take him to, holy crap, 98. He did not take him to the doctor because the doctor wasn't at the healer's nest for some reason. So the cook says, we asked, cook did not take him, take merchants to healers, I should say, probably the healer, to healer's nest. So he's like, no, no, I couldn't take. I'm sorry, I'm sorry. I was very busy. The merchant, I gave him to. Who did he give him to? Let's see. Maybe he gave him to someone who can heal. Oh, the traveler. So he says, I saw a sage or a magician or some wizard looking dude. No, he's like, while he's cooking, he's like in the pan working. He says that he saw a sage, possibly someone who can heal. And he's like, "Can you help this man?" And the sage basically took over. So the traveler that he saw from earlier, and that basically connects some dots. So uh, Cook saw Sage, the traveler from earlier, to help the merchant. Okay, so to help the merchant, and Bregler is like, "Oh, okay. Where is the doctor though?" So we're asking about why the doctor is not in. He said, and is the doctor? We didn't see the doctor, perhaps from our first observation, in the tavern. It was so bustling and busy. Well, does the cook say the doctor is in the tavern? Oh, I didn't roll a percentage. Let's say, does the cook even know where the doctor is? Let's do a small town. You know, people know each other. Let's say 50. Let's just do a 50-50. He does actually know where the doctor is. Okay, that's interesting. Um, so why did he bother bringing him back? I guess maybe because just take him somewhere there's people better than just middle of nowhere. Cook knows where doctor is. All right. The doctor is somewhere. We roll D100. 76. The doctor is currently 76 at the swamp. Okay. Oh, okay. He's at the swamp. Um, he says he says he goofed up. He thought the doctor was in town. He went back. He did some traveling to get some supplies. So doctor is traveling basically. So swamp is not there. Doctor's traveling. He left to get supplies, get stuff, get supplies. Um, okay, let's fix this up really quick. All right, doctor left town. We'll just say that. I don't have to put every single detail in there. Swamp. Okay, now because of that, we inquire about the sage. We Bregler says that he saw a traveling traveling sage passed by earlier, told him how to get to, I think, how to get to the tavern. Or no, no, I'm sorry, how to get to the prior location, the bakery. I keep skipping over my words. Bakery. I think it was a bakery. So he says, "Does the sage pass by her often?" And does the sage pass by her often? Let's say 85% chance. He does. So the sage is a very frequent visitor of the town. Sage, the traveler. Traveler is a name. The traveler. Let's call him that. We'll call him the traveler. Just give him a nickname. Change it for a sage that he just kind of he knows magic, etc. I think that's what sages do. Uh, let's see. The traveler visits um, bellhop often, and then we also ask about the. We keep asking these questions, and then the cook is getting very a little agitated. Let's see how he responds to keep asking these questions. Interested. He's really intrigued by this. He says because he's always stuck back here, he's always cooking food for the inn. He doesn't get to experience adventure, nothing on the outdoors besides leaving earlier to find the merchant. Um, so the cook is interested. We asked for the cook's name. I think we should get the cook a name at this point. We've been talking to him a lot. Let's use a name for the World of Dungeons list here. So let's give him cook's name is cook is now going to be called which location should we use? Xanathar Island. Um, Met. Let's call him Met. French. I really don't know where he's from, but we'll call him Met. That's his name, and we're going to add him to the character list. We have Met. We met May or Mate Met Cook at Tavern in Bellhop. All right. The Bellhop Tavern. We didn't see a sign, so we don't know the name of this place. So I'm just not taking a liking to this guy. He's very friendly. He's helpful. He's really giving us some good information. Now, with that being said, we have to get going. Regular has to get going, but he wants to know why the inn is closed. The inn in this town apparently is separate from the actual tavern. I know that in a lot of stories that the tavern is part of the inn, but for this case, the tavern is separate. Now, does he know why the tavern's closed? I would say again, small town, 75% chance he knows. He does know, 46%. He explains the tavern is closed because they've had a rodent infestation. And tavern is closed. Closed because I'm sorry, not the tavern. The inn. The inn is closed. Rodent infestation. Yep. And just kind of made that one up off the top of my head. Now the name of the inn. Let's call it Bellhop Inn. The Bellhop. The Bellhop Stop. We'll call it that. Star. I can't resist. The Bellhop Stop. Bellhop Stop Inn. Yeah, it's the Stop Inn. Yeah, I like that. The Bellhop Stop Inn. So, um, we kind of giggle at that name, and the cook he just kind of looks at us. We after we giggle about it, what does he think of kind of laughing? He's welcome. He's like, yeah, it is a pretty funny name. So we laugh at the name. Um, we stand up and we say, "Well, appreciate your time. I gotta go. I gotta be off." So the cook waves us goodbye. He's still cooking, doing it, working his magic on the food. So we leave the back room. Now we're back in the tavern, the main bar area of the tavern. Now, while we walk out of the tavern, I have a feeling we're gonna be stopped by someone. Are we stopped by someone? Let's roll. I say 50-50 on this one. Yes, we are indeed stopped by someone apparently. Okay, and who stops us? Let's figure that out. Let's roll D100. So tavern bar area. Oh, we're stopped by the bartender. Yeah, yeah. The bartender stops us. Bartender, he flags us down. He shouts, gets our attention. Attention. We regular turns to the bartender, and the bartender is just is he does he let's see does he ask how'd it go? Did you find him? And let's know does he ask how if we found the cook? I guess oh yeah, too very much so we did. So we tell him yes yeah I was able to talk to him. I'm sorry to interrupt. He's very busy, but I got what I need. So I'm off. The bartender does he offer us a drink? Let's say 60% chance. He doesn't. He's like, okay, good. And he goes back to work. So we are about to walk out of the tavern. We're on our way out. We walk up to the door, walk up to the door, and I have a feeling something's going to occur at this point. So let's do a d10, and I'm going to roll for 5. Let's see what happens here. Uh, Laughter. I'm looking at the oracles here and trying to see if there's something that perhaps. Let's roll a d100 actually. Let's do an event. 93. A tournament. Oh, okay. There's a little interesting. There's a tournament going. There's a drinking game going on. Um, Regular notices. Whoops, that's not how you spell notices. Sees drinking game. A couple of patrons are just enjoying themselves, shouting really loud. They're they're playing beer pong. I don't know if that was them back then, beer pong, but they're playing beer pong. They're using maybe corks to just try to throw a cork into a beer glass. Um, and he sees this. Now, is he? I think this is just he just sees it. I don't think he wants to take part in it. He just sees the livelihood of the tavern. They're having fun. That's great and all. And he walks to the door and he's going to leave. So there was really nothing too exciting happen there. But actually, because he sees their drinking game, how are the patrons? They're they're welcoming. They're very happy. They're having a good time and regular smiles. It's just some reassurance. And because he sees this, he's gonna remember he doesn't know about Tracer. He has no idea Tracer's tracking him. Regular's like he needs to take a break, so he's gonna sit down. He's gonna go back to the bartender. Uh, he sees the enjoyment. He knows he's on a kind of a time crunch, 7 days, which I have no idea which day we're on. But I'm gonna treat this like a video game where it just doesn't keep track. Um, Even though I was keeping track, I think we're on the second or third day at this point. I'm gonna put a note here: second or third day. Uh, Sees enjoyment, goes back to the bar, and he's gonna flag down the bartender again. The bartender smiles. He's, oh, you're back. You want something? And we're going to just grab a drink. So he pours us something. We put some silver on. We don't have too much, so he's gonna ask how much it is, and is it pretty cheap? Let's say 50 chance. It is not. It's let's say it's 4 gold. So we have 11 gold. And what I'm sorry, what did I roll? I completely forgot. Yeah, it's not cheap. It's very good stuff. He's like, do you have water? So he asked for water. Um, and as he said, there's a water free, 50-50 chance. Yes, it is. Water is free. It could not have been. So he asked for water. Asked for water. Doesn't want to pay anything right now. He'd rather pay for an inn than just beer. So, but he still wants to enjoy himself. So he sits down. He sits down in the corner somewhere. Sits on the corner of the tavern. He's just by himself. Perhaps there's a few. Is there any patrons nearby? I'm sorry, I didn't ask. Oh yeah, 80% chance. Yep, well, I rolled an 80. I'm literally psychic today. So yeah, there's patrons nearby, and he's kind of looking around, exploring the tavern, doing what adventurer does best, to remain completely invisible, even though they're trying to hide, remain conspicuous. Um, he, It's just busy. There's patrons everywhere. I think I'm using the term correctly, and I hope I am. Patrons, drinkers, villager, townsmen, sitting nearby. There's a small group of them. Small group. Let's say 2 to 3 people. So 3 people. Small group. 3 people. Now, who are these people? Let's roll. Me, for some reason, Bregor is taking an interest in these people. Let's see. Um, person. We have 83, 83. A soldier. Interesting. Maybe they are soldiers. So, 3 soldiers. Interesting. Okay, that's a new development. They're just drinking, and I think Reglor is going to walk up to them. Just wants to commune. He just wants to socialize with some people. He walks up to them, and not too strangely, he says, "Soldiers, you guys passing through town Bellhop? And do they? How are they in our inquiry?" Let's roll the motion. They're also phenomenal. They're very friendly. There are a lot of friendly people out here. It's really odd, actually. Um, yeah, it's kind of unusual. I think I mean, everyone is really friendly. That's kind of I don't know why I'm saying it's odd, but it's I was expecting some real pushback at times, but no, these soldiers are really. They say, are they travelers? I'm gonna say a 95% chance. They are. Yeah, they're travelers. They're passing through. They're travelers. The travelers passing through bellhop, and uh, we ask if we can sit next to him because he wants to talk about war stories. Bregler's a thief, so he's trying to remain not trying to give as much attention away, but he's trying to. I think he's really doing this to blend in with the town, not to cause too much get too much attention on him. So let's say he asks if he can sit with them. I don't know if that will require a. Let's do our first roll for the game just to see if they let us sit with them. Maybe he's just trying to get some insight about where they're going. Perhaps it's part of. It's going to be helpful for him. Like get some tips on how to travel up north to the temple. What was it? The Temple of Doom, I think. Temple of Legion. That's right. The Temple of Legion is where we got to go. So he's trying to convince them. Try to say he sits down next to me. So where you guys headed north? I'm on my way there up too. Any advice on how to travel? What to look out for? So we got to roll a 7 or better. 7 or better. Okay, 5. Yeah. So we failed. Now because of that, Breglor tries to talk to them, but mainly ask about the northern routes. And like what are there any like shortcuts to get to um a certain temple up there? And when they say temple, they pause for a second and they look at each other. So they're really mysterious. They're really suspicious now. The minute we said temple, 8% chance are they suspicious. They are. Oh yeah, they're very suspicious now. Let's see here. Yeah, yeah. It's not. They're not. They're mood swings. So we mentioned temple, but now quiet. They don't respond for some reason, and they question why we're asking about a temple. So does one of the soldiers ask us why we're asking about the temple? Let's see. What would be the percent of that? I'd say 70%. Yep. One of the soldiers asks about why are we inquiring about the temple of, it doesn't really say Legion, but a certain temple up north. Soldier asks about our question. Why? And Bregmore is let's say temple up here. mainly the north route, but Regular mentioned it slipped. He maybe let it slip, said temple by mistake. And we got to think of something really quick here. We got to think on our feet. Let's roll to see if we can pull this off. Um, he has to lie right now. He has to cover his rear, and he has to make something up. Let's say, let's just maybe he goes with it. He is delivering something. I mean, how guilty how bad is that? Let's say, oh, I'm just delivering something from friends. Just apparently, just I get a package up north. Not sure what this temple is about, but that's all I heard. So, is that does that convince the let's say here, Breglor? He does tell the truth, but it's a small truth. So small details like um, just a transporter, just a delivery, just a transporter. Just a transporter. Jason Statham. So he's just gonna package up north for a friend. So let's roll for let's. This is another skill. Would this be skill? Oh, I forgot. I can use luck, but I probably should use that more in battle. Though I think this one, if I do miss this one, I'm gonna use my luck to turn the partial to success because this is pretty vital. Because then we can be captured by these soldiers, and we can be brought in to their little um. It says soldiers, but I'm trying to think of what they'll be part of. They're part of a faction or a group of mercenaries. It just says soldiers. I think that's such a generic label on them for now. We haven't really dug into that. So let's roll. Okay, hoping for 5, 6, 7, barely partial success. So I think they kind of believe us. So partial success is you do it, but there's some cost, compromise, retribution, harm, etc. So it's a really tough engine. I really like that. Um, let's say let's say that it does convince them. So we convince them, or they believe us, I should say. They believe us. They'll believe us, but uh, they want to basically go with us because they want to go with us. They're already traveling up north, but perhaps it's more of like they need help. So let's say they're also on a mission. They're on a task themselves. They're soldiers. So these soldiers, I want to say they're part of a government. They're a guard. So these three soldiers are Kingdom's guard. So we haven't really branched out that far in story yet, but um, they're a King's guard. And are they? Let's see. What are they doing exactly? Wait, let's learn about these King's Guard. Let's see. What are they doing exactly? 80, 58. Initiates. Oh, interesting. Initiate. They are in peace talks. Let's say they're being sent a King's Guard on their way. I don't think this is really going anywhere. I'm trying to think of how this would connect to the story. But I know what this is for. They've been sent to investigate the tremors. So the king of the large kingdom down south, which we haven't really delved into yet, but the King's Guard, they're a special team of highly trained, just warriors and uh, strong guard. The King's Guard. They've been sent to investigate the quakes that have been happening lately. Okay, and so now they're more known as the Guards, the King's Guard. So let's add that to our cast of characters, which is ever growing. Kingsguard. Uh, three, yeah, three guardsmen. Oh, let's call them the Kingsmen, like the movie, the Kingsman. Yeah, let's call it that. I like that, Kingsman. We're gonna blend franchises together here. So they are now called the Kingsmen. Okay, the Kingsmen. Uh, three highly trained individuals. Individuals for the king. The king for the alliance. Go for the king. Okay, so literally the Kingsmen. They say Kingsman, and does Breglor have knowledge of that? Let's roll a check on ourselves, I should say. Don't think too hard. Yeah, he does. So that's nine. Yeah, he knows of the Kingsman. He's been around a lot, the block a lot. So he knows the Kingsmen are the highest of of officer status and like the law in town. So he's like, oh, crap, I'm a thief with the Kingsmen. So he plays it safe, and he's going to be very impressed. He's, oh, the Kingsmen, I tried to join you guys a long time ago. And in saying that, the Kingsmen want, because they heard that he's a transporter, they want him to join their team to travel up north to the temple because they think the tremor. They know the temple is. They mentioned the temple has been known for dark magic and has been um, disowned by the land, and it's um, maintained by a very powerful dark entity, and no one has dared to go there for many years. So they're talking about the lore, Temple of Legion, dark magic, uh, mystery and mysterious evil, blah blah blah. So they think the tremors are coming from the temple. Tremors coming from the temple. So the king has tasked them to investigate, essentially. Use their skills to go up there. And they see Breglar as expendable, though they're not saying that to him, like, oh, you're expendable. You can be our moving target, basically, our basically body armor. A meat shield is it, basically. But they want him to come with them so they can use his skills in perhaps helping them just, I don't know, just an extra spare pair of hands. And because Breglar was so excited, oh, I've always wanted to join the Kingsmen, um, whether it's a white lie or not. So with that development, that's actually really intriguing. So Breglar finishes his water, and he asks them when do they leave. So Breglar, let's write down that they want Breglar to come with them, perhaps as a training, basically, just to show, like, just to teach them the ways of the Kingsmen. So maybe they are Maybe they are recruiting. Let's ask this: are they recruiting? Let's say 50%, 50-50. They are. Okay, mild. They are not too picky, but they're looking for people. The Kingsmen, remember, they were really friendly earlier, so maybe they're not using him as a meat shield. They truly want to use him, or they want to perhaps train him or show him the ropes. Are looking for more. They are, I should say, I'm getting to my tendency to write too much here. Are recruiting. They're like, perhaps if you are very helpful on this mission, we'll put in a good word for the king. So, and I think that Reglar's reputation is more limited to the village, perhaps, its surrounding areas for his thievery, if that's a word. But he is interested. I'm going to say Breglar is very interested in this proposition. This probably could help with the Misfits. And he's remembering about the Misfits quest, and he's like, "Oh yeah, that." So he has his bag on, and the box is inside. Now, While they're chatting, I have a feeling something's going to happen. Let's see. Yep, something does indeed happen. Does a 50-50 roll. I'm sorry, it was not a 50-50. Let me see here. What happens? There is a shake. That was, I'm sorry, I was rolling for the severity of the shake. The whole tavern begins to shake. Whole tavern shakes, shakes again, shakes, but it's much more severe this time. Much more, yeah, severe. Glasses are falling off. The tables are flopping over. Tables are falling. People are tripping, and Bregler's holding on to the table. We're all looking around. And does it last for like 5, 10 seconds, perhaps? Let's say 8% chance. Yep. No, wait. It doesn't. It's literally for just a few seconds. It's a very sudden tremor, and then it stops. And we're all looking around. One of the Kingsmen says, "Those damn tremors again. We got to get going. We can't stop slacking off." So they all stand up. Uh, it lasted for about 3 seconds. Uh, Kingsman stands up. Stands up. They all stand up at once. Very like at the same time, very organized, professional. One of them turns and shows the bartender puts gold on the table. Thank you, my good friend. We're off. So the bartender waves by. So yeah, let's roll Kingsman. Okay, the Kingsman. Okay, and they leave. So we follow. We walk outside, and then we walk outside. We follow the Kingsman. I'm guessing they have horses or they have a carriage perhaps. They have some form of transportation. Do they have a form of transportation? Let's say 90% they do. Okay, they are on foot. Yeah, they are on foot. Okay, Breglock's looking around for like a carriage or horses. Like, you guys walking? And they are walking. So we're walking. Kinsman uh are walking. No, whoops, no transportation, no transport. Basically, they explain that did they have issues in the past? 60% chance. Yeah, oh yeah, they did. Let's say the horses were killed by some bandits. They had to fend them off. They took care of it, but they lost the horses unfortunately in the scuffle. So um, they lost. Their horses were basically just killed. Their horses, yeah. That's just some lore. Let's put that in there. Horses were killed by bandits earlier, or let's say earlier in the day. Oh, I know an idea. Earlier in the day, they were tried. They tried to get mugged. Bandits tried mugging them, which is funny because um, we ran into two. Now, those were just two low-level bandits. They were. I don't think we really ever asked if they were part of the Misfits, but we ask while we're outside. We ask, "Oh, was it those Misfits?" Now, was it the Misfits? So let's ask. Let's say Breglor just conversing. He asks if it was Misfits. So was it the Misfits? Let's say Misfits are pretty big, but I think they're smaller. No, I'm sorry, they're not pretty big. They're a smaller group east of the town of the village of Tarrant. So I'm going to say, and they haven't been out here. They're probably still in the village, or they're doing something more other bandit stuff farther east from where we are. I would say 40% chance. It was not the Misfits. They said, no, it wasn't the Misfits, though we're after them too. It was just a pair of bandits who got away. So he thinks they killed him, but they didn't. They got away. They didn't take anything, but they got our horses. So, oh, let's say. They didn't kill the horses. They stole them. I think that's more. Yeah, that's even funnier. Uh, early in the day, earlier, the two bandits that we've killed, two bandits from yeah, all right, put that in. Two bandits stole their horses, which is odd because we didn't see the horses from earlier. Maybe we completely missed it. The horses were um shoot, that's a plot hole. They off to the side, or the I'm wondering if the horses ran off. Perhaps they tried to take them, but they ran off. Let's see. Did they just run off into the wild? 60% chance. I'm thinking these bandits were pretty unorganized. They did, yeah. The horses just they got scared away from the scuffle. So, but the horses eventually ran off into the wilderness. So that's why they didn't exactly have them, and they were robbing. They're mugging that merchant. So, um, no, it was the two bandits, and Bregor's thinking, should I mention that was the two I took out? So Bregor, he's going to say, Bregor explains, uh, he dealt with them, and then um, he dealt with them. He said, I ran into those two before I entered the town of Bellhop. They were trying to mug a merchant, a traveling merchant. I took care of them. So when he says that, are they the Kingsmen? So we gotta figure this out. Are the Kingsmen like by the law, like you know, lawful good? Like if you kill, that's basically a crime. But are they trying to help? We were trying to help. Gregor was trying to help. Let's see what the reaction is with the emotion roll. Let me try and roll again. Ah, interested. They are really intrigued by this. So he mentions he killed them, saved the merchant, saved the merchant. They're interested in this little side note. Um, so because of that, they want to know. Um, they're also inquiring if the merchant is okay. Explains that he dealt. So they ask. Uh, Now they know that they ask, "How is the merchant?" And Breglor just recaps what the cook said, but briefly, and sums it up. Breglor recaps about the traveling sage, or not the sage, the traveler, the mysterious traveler. I think that was his name. Is that what we put for the traveler? I don't think we actually put the traveler in our notes here. We should. So the traveler, mystery man, um, possibly a sage going north routes. Okay. So we mentioned about the traveler. We didn't see him, but we believe he's currently helping. He helped out the merchant. I got sidetracked by you guys, etc. He's just talking about all that. So the Kingsmen are debating amongst themselves. Are they going to continue? If I roll 1 through 50, they're going to continue their quest up north with us. 51 or higher, they're going to inquire about the merchants. They are they're way focused on the mission at hand. Um, they were interested at first. They just want to know, but then they heard about the traveler, and the details that we gave about the traveler really kind of rerouted their interest to now. Do they know of the traveler? I'm gonna say 75% chance. They know of the traveler, 45. They know of this traveler. Okay. I'm really interested. Is the traveler dangerous? 50-50. The traveler's not dangerous. He's indeed not dangerous. Traveler. The traveler is he is a magically endowed a magic user. Again, I'm saying we said sage from earlier, but I'm not too familiar with sages, so I'm going to kind of which that will make a lot of people laugh. But again, there's just some things I just don't know of this lore of fantasy. So I'm trying to work with what I got. Okay, I'm really stupid. I just did a quick little refresher. Sage is a person with a lot of vast memory and intellect, very smart of history, lore, etc. Very helpful person, vast power. Okay, that's a sage. I'm an idiot. I completely forgot about that concept. For some reason, I was thinking a sage was a magic user. If they can be, I don't know. But again, based on what I just did a little refresher, they are just very helpful, and I think knowledgeable beings who this for this case will be very useful. So they explain that the traveler that he keeps hinting at, that they keep talking about, and based on the descriptions, is indeed not dangerous. He is known as, let's just say he's known as the Traveler. Um, yeah, he's known as the Traveler. They don't know his name. He's been to the Kingdom of Unknown because we just don't know yet. We haven't got to that part yet. I think I did have in my very original map, but that is in the garbage somewhere in a nearby landfill. So, as a traveler to many. So he goes town to town, parting wisdom, helping others, and just the timing of this was perfect. So they think most likely he helped or healed the merchant. And because of that, um, I'm going to say that the traveler, he is regular asks or regular mentions that traveler was here. He saw him, like he talked to him, and they're like, that's very good. The traveler's probably going up north to, um, at the same time, going up north, coincidentally, whether it's related to the shocks or not. So I'm thinking that the traveler is out of the area for now. He's out of town. Let's roll. Let's roll. Is the traveler still in town? We say 40% chance. Oh, he is still in town. Interesting. Okay, he is still in town. The traveler is still in town. Okay, I like that. Now, why is he still in town? Is he still helping healing the merchant, perhaps, or just trying to help him recover, or find a doctor? The doctor left. We know that, but perhaps the traveler is doing something to help him. Because the merchant was very wounded, very injured. So best thing to do is take to someone who knows. Oh, imagine a healer, like not just a healer's nest, but maybe there's someone of who's healing him. Perhaps is the merchant with the traveler? Let's see if that's let's say 80% chance. He is with okay, so he's still with the traveler. All right. Now, because of that, Regular is gonna take he shows them to where he saw the traveler. So Regular takes the Kingsman. They really want to meet the traveler. I think maybe he's such a myth, a legend. They want to meet him. They're basically like fanboys. Takes them to where I should say, yeah, he saw traveler. Um, they want to meet the traveler. Okay, and while he's trying his best to remember where he came from. He's going back to I think the bakery, or was it? Well, no, we gotta go back a page. We have to go back a couple pages, I think. No, another page back. It's all right. It was right. It was a correct, like it was an addition to the story. Um, yeah, here it is. Traveler, uh, Tracer, find the door is locked. The traveler after we had the tavern at the inn. That's it. Okay, we met him. We ran into him at the inn, outside the inn. So we're back at the inn. Okay, back. So arrow here. Back at the inn. So it was called Bellhop Stop. The Bellhop Stop Inn, I think. Bellhop Stop. I prefer Bellhop Stop for now. Okay, so they get to the inn. Now, is regular saying this is where I saw him. Let's say I have an idea. Regular notices is the door open. Let's say 80% chance. He notices the door is open. So unusual, like earlier, regular notices the door is open. Like it's just kind of half open. So he peeks inside, and does he see anybody in there? Let's say 90% chance. He does. Yeah, yeah. That's a very strong guess. He does indeed see someone in there, and peeking in, he looks inside. The Kingsmen are right behind us, behind Burglar. Does he see? Like I'm guessing we see the front desk of the inn. We see like a little room, an entryway. Does he see anybody at first sight? Let's say 65% chance. He does. Yeah, he sees someone. 60% chance it's is the traveler. I have an idea for this. And he does indeed see the traveler. The traveler, the traveler is sitting behind the desk, reading a book. The front desk or the desk. He's reading. He has he has a stack of books like surrounding him. He has all this like a huge library of books in the room. There's books everywhere. Is the merchant in the room? Let's say 25% chance. He's not. So Bregler walks up to him, approaches. We're now in the. I gotta write down where we are. We're in the inn. Approaches traveler, and he says, "You own the inn," because it's evident he owns the inn. Now, 90% chance. Does he own the inn? He does. Doesn't he own the inn? Yeah, he lives here. This is his house. This is his place. Like this is his business. He travels a lot, but he does own the inn. He says he owns the inn, but his family takes care of it. So Traveler owns it, but let's say his wife kind of runs it. Is his wife there? 75% chance. She's not. She's out buying some goods. So his wife is out getting supplies while he's just kind of managing the desk. So the Kingsman entered. They enter, and they see the. Oh, sorry, my back is just killing me. They see the let me see if this worked for this. What is their reaction to seeing the traveler there? They are, yeah, they're benevolent. They're so absolutely amazed to see this legend sitting right in front of them. So they enter, they bow, and they say it is an honor to be in the presence of the traveler, all at the same time. And the traveler is like, oh, please, please, take enough of the formalities. So at that point they bow, and I think um, Regular is going to asks about the status of the merchant, the whereabouts of merchants. I can see I'm getting a little better. I did drown out at times. I did kind of go a little too long at times, but my writing does get very sloppy if I'm rushing or if I'm getting just tired. So yeah, I'm trying to condense it at times. It does indeed look like I'm getting there, but yeah. Okay, that's all right. I'll keep rolling with it. He asked about the status of merchant, and um, is the merchant upstairs resting in one of the rooms? 80, let's say 95% chance. He is. Yep, that's very much so. So merchant is recovering upstairs. Now, does um does the watcher actually that's not bad. Like for Marvel, the traveler, does he have anything for us? Yeah, let's say 75% chance. He doesn't. He doesn't have anything for us. The Breglor is I think Breglor is a little greedy. He's like, well, I saved his life. I was hoping for an award. I was hoping for, something in return. So he does say that casually. He says, "Well, I did save the man's life from these two bandits. I was hoping for something in return. Could use the gold." And when he says that, uh, Bregalor was hoping for like a reward. Okay, I have an idea of this part here. The merchant being so kind, uh, he didn't have anything physical for him. I should clarify. But because after saying that, does the traveler, I should say, sorry, not the merchant, the traveler, does he offer a room for the night for free? Let's say 90% chance. Let's say he's willing to do that. He does. He thinks about it for a second. He's like, I think I can accommodate you. I'll let you stay in one of my rooms for one night, no charge. So, traveler offers Breglor a room for the night. I love that this traveler kind of worked into the story. Like he actually lives in the town, and his wife is just kind of the manager. She went off to do something while he traverses the land, and spreads his very wisdom amongst others. So room for the night. Okay, we accept. We shake his hand. We're like, thank you very much. It's highly appreciative. And the merchant says, no, thank you. So we look to. I keep saying we. Um, Again, that's a habit I probably never break. But the meanwhile, I've been using Orca a while. Probably don't need thing I need to at this moment. But in any event, I'm sorry, I'm trying to think of what to say here. The Kingsmen, they we part ways for now. I Breglor looks to the Kingsmen. He says, I know we planned on traveling up north together for the whole Kingsman thing, but I really need to rest. I've been through quite a bit these past couple days. Do you do you three plan on going up north after this, or are you staying here? So they look to each other, and they're going to decide, do they 50-50, do they travel up north because of the urgency? I'm going to say they are really on time, or how should I say, they're trying to stay on track. So 75% chance, but the travelers here, they're huge fans, so there's a small window. Do they continue on without me, basically? They don't. They actually stay behind. They're going to talk with the traveler for a bit. 8275, I'd say, yeah. The Kingsmen are going to talk to traveler about practically anything. Maybe they want to just pick his brain. They want to get some information about what's up north, preparing them. Well, that would be good for us, but I think Bregler is just falling asleep. So that's where the Kingsmen leave off. I'll put a star there. That's really intriguing. We can develop that in the next episode. But Bregler is given a key by the traveler. He goes to his room. Like it's like the second room on the left, up the stairs. Goes to his room. He goes inside and he locks the door and he just collapses onto the bed. So collapses onto the bed, onto the bed. So falls asleep, sleeps. Now because of all this, because of everything he's been through, we haven't. He has saved a merchant. We haven't leveled him up yet because this system has a leveling system. We're going to do that. So before I close the episode off, let's level up him to 2. I think that's fair. He's been through a lot. He saved the merchant's life. He helped out a kid. I think this is way too late, or it's far too. It's not soon enough. Basically, I'm trying to speak English here. Okay, so for leveling up, um, I'm kind of breaking the rules here because you get 1 EXP for every silver, but I'm going to force a level up based on. I'm ignoring the XP system. I'm going to do it based on milestones. So let's scratch out the. I'm going to put X here and X. I'm not using the rules based on the. At least for this episode, I'm not using the rules. I just want to bump him up, um, and just give him the give. I'll just say this: I won't do an X. I'll just give him 1,000 XP for now. So he hit that 1,000 mark, and his next level up. His next level up would be 3,000. Okay, so for level 2, we get 1 plus on the hit die. We had 4 to start. You get 1 when you start, and then 3 based on your con. So I had 4. Now I have 5, which is funny. 1 more hit die, and then that's it. So I can re-roll now because we're resting. So I think the rules are equal to our level. I re-roll all my 5 dice and keep the 2 highest of the 5 based on my level. So I have to grab 5d6s. 5. There they are. Okay. So we keep 2 of the highest of the 5 I roll. That is 4, 5. Okay. So here we go. Nice. He gets an increase of HP to 11. Love it. All right. I think that's fair. He has been through a lot, and I've hacked away at different engines, my own, Karen for the first majority of the episodes. I think it's only fair to the character to give him a boost that he well deserves. And I think that's well weighted, well uh, deserved. So with that 11, he levels up. Yep, let's get my. I was looking for my. There it is. My notes. Okay, star levels up to 2. Okay, well there we go. And the name, which I forgot to do in the last one, the episode name will be, let's say, the Traveler. Where do we leave off? I keep on thinking of calling him Watcher. I like to use other inspiration and material, for other IP as sometimes of inspiration. We met the cook. We met the Kingsman in this episode. There was a quake. So this is episode 12. We'll call the Traveler. Okay, so this episode was not too bad actually. Had some hiccups as usual, had some stuttering and some pauses, but overall, I think I'm getting pretty decent at this. I used the Oracle less, I think. I definitely used it, but I believe I used it less near the second half of this video, I think. Um, that's good. That's intriguing. So I love the World of Dungeons engine. This is my first real time using it for more than an hour. Actually, hour and a half, almost, hour and 20. But yeah, I really like this. Kind of cheated giving him new stats, but I'm gonna just keep going with it. This is absolutely fun to do. I'll keep the rules set here. And yeah, so we are resting. We leveled up, and a new day approaches. So thank you for watching. I'll see you guys next time on A30 RPG.